I'm Ian Goldin, the Professor of Globalization and Development at the University of Oxford, and I'm also the director of 3 research programs in Oxford, the Oxford Martin programs on the future of work, future of development, and technological and economic change. I've written many books on a wide range of topics. The most recent, Rescue from Global Crisis to a Better World, thinks about how the pandemic has changed things. And my book, which is most directly focused on fertility, is the Planet Full? And that's the question I'm going to be dealing with today. Is the planet full? How do we think about the world's population, demography, and the changes? And has the pandemic brought new changes in this area? Many people feel that the planet is full, but when they say that, they mean full of other people. They don't mean full of their children or others closely related to them. And so there tends to be, in many people, some bias that somehow more of people like themselves is a good thing, more of other people, not so much. And yet, when you look at the numbers, we see that everywhere around the world, there's been extraordinary change. For thousands of years, the world's population was very low and stable. And then improvements in nutrition through the agricultural revolution, improvements in life expectancy as water became cleaner, led to a growing population. As we mastered our environment more by being able to build homes that kept us warm, wear clothes that kept us warm, began to cook food, and develop more efficient means of ensuring that we survive for longer. And as battles and clashes between groups took a lower toll, the population grew. But it really wasn't until much more recently in world history that we've seen this rapid population rise. And over the last century, there's been a particularly rapid rise. And that's led to ideas like the population bomb, which is the name of a book, population explosion, and ideas that somehow this is out of control. And indeed, there has been a doubling of the speed in which the world's population has doubled over the last century. Because what we saw was this rapid decline in mortality, particularly infant mortality, young children dying, often in childbirth or before the age of 1 from diseases, and an increase in life expectancy. And that's really because of progress that's been associated with income growth, that people have more money and therefore able to buy better food, have care. Societies are able to provide care, nursing, hospitals, and so forth, and also because of improvements in knowledge. Simple things like smoking kills you, wearing a safety belt prolongs your life, wearing a condom prevents the transmission of HIV/AIDS and other venereal diseases. And the increases in life expectancy have been to changes in public health, like smoking, like pollution, and others, and then also, of course, due to extraordinary new technologies. Vaccines have been absolutely critical in this. Vaccines against polio, measles, smallpox, against tuberculosis, and the ability to control increasingly malaria and other diseases has led to a rapid improvement in life expectancies. And it's that which is explained, together with rises in income and improving nutrition, the rise in the world's population from 2 billion to 4 billion, then to 6, and now approaching 8 billion people in the world. But where's this going to go? Are we going to continue to see a doubling, an increase? And the evidence points very firmly against this. What we're seeing is around the world a rapid decline in population growth. What we're seeing around the world is fertility. That's the number of children that on average women have declining below replacement level over the period 1950 to 2050. That means less than what was necessary over the medium term to keep populations at their current size. Replacement level tends to be about, on average, 2.1 children per mother, woman of adult age. Because what we saw, the ideas of the right to choose, that women have the right over their own bodies to choose how many children they'll have. These ideas spreading around the world, and that the church increasingly stepping back, still has places to do this, from ideas that women shouldn't be able to do that, not allowing contraception, for example. So the spread of contraceptive methods, the spread of knowledge, the spread of rights has been quite fundamental in leading to this decline in the number of babies born. And the reason it's not just two, you have two children, and then you have, in the next generation, another two, and you keep the population stable. In some studies, it's much more than two that you need, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3 on average. The reason it's higher is because not all children are girls, so half are girls, and actually increasingly in many societies there's a skewness in the population towards boys. So many more boys growing up than girls. And some countries, like China, this is rather dramatic. You have provinces in China where there's 1.2 boys on average for every girl. In other words, 12 boys for every 10 girls. And that means that there are much less potential mothers in that environment. And that's because these gender biases are because of gender discrimination largely. That men in many societies have higher status, higher income than girls. And so when people are only having one child, and they have the technologies to choose, they have means to, through scans and other means, to identify the gender of their future child, they are choosing not to have girls, often in favor of boys. So one reason why for replacement you need over 2 children per child-rearing mother is because not everyone's going to be a girl, and actually there are much less girls in many societies now than boys. The second reason is that even if there are half the number of the population is women, many women are not choosing to have children.